bad day today. Very bad day today. I had a revelation that I blame other people in my head. And mentally, I blame other people when I'm the one who's at fault. I'm the problem. No one else is the problem. I'm the problem. And there's no one else to blame but myself. And I just feel I'm having a hard time feeling okay about that. Just hard time feeling okay about that. I really don't like myself today. And I haven't for a long time. And and people tell me I have to learn to love myself. That's what they say. I have to learn to love myself. I have no idea how to do that. I really don't. I'm not a fan. I mean, I don't. It's hard to feel good about myself. Yeah, it's just hard to. It's hard to feel good. It's hard to feel like, okay, this is a person I like. Yeah, I don't like this person. I think thus far, my biggest accomplishment is how much I've able to not talk to people. Because if I actually said out loud 90% of what I was thinking, then people would go, oh, I see why he hates himself. We share that. I'm just better at, it's not that I'm a good person, I'm just better at hiding the fact that I'm an asshole. That's really what it is. I'm just good at keeping it reined in. And maybe that's what it means to be, yeah. That's what it is. I'm in control of, I pride myself on how much I can control my asshole nature. Because even at my worst, scratching the surface of what's actually in there, which is just someone who is intensely narcissistic. The fact that I refused to do a podcast with anyone else because I'm trying to prove that I'm good enough without help is part of the problem. I'm also and even now I feel like I'm not being. Am I being 100% authentic? Do I literally hate myself as much as I say I hate myself? Or am I just exaggerating? I don't. How would I rate myself? I would give myself, what would I give? I'd give myself a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's where I'm at. No, that doesn't feel authentic. Not today. Not today is a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. Although Doug left a comment saying that he listens to this podcast so he can feel better about himself. So at least I'm accomplishing something. But even then, I don't know how much I'm accomplishing. I don't know what the point is in doing this. Because I want so badly for this to be a comedy podcast. I'm kind of thinking that just the more depressed I can get. I'm hoping that if I get so depressed, it'll kind of go so far into depression that it'll become funny. Maybe that's the plan. We'll see if that's working. But is the hatred of myself justified? Is it justified? I think it is. Because I think it's justified because all of this negativity and self-hatred is safe. Because it's easier to do this than to be okay with myself and risk being criticized by other people. So this is actually my safety mechanism. That's what this is. Self-hatred is my fetal position. It's my wet blanket. Yes. That's exactly what it is. It's safer to be doing this than to be happy. Happiness is a risk. Happiness is a risk for me. That's the risk. I can't tell you how pretentious this entire exercise is right now. I don't think I need to tell you. If you're listening to this, you can bear witness to the fact that this is incredibly pretentious, that I'm self-analyzing. And people have told me I should go to the Al-Anon meetings or I should go to a therapist. And I feel like they're all going to tell me that God is love and that I need to learn to love myself. And I don't know, do I? I mean, if we live in a hostel in a different universe, does it matter one way or another? Because I remember people, how I feel affects everyone around me. And I do matter. That's what I was told recently. I do matter. And if I take myself out of the equation, then everyone else is affected. But then I think of all the people I went to school with, elementary, middle, high school, who I don't even remember their names anymore. I don't know. Am I that affected? I think best case scenario, if I was gone suddenly, people would be mildly sad about it for an hour. I think that's being optimistic. And then, they'd be back to life as normal life. But or this is clinical depression. Maybe this is clinical depression. Clinical depression. Depression that's so strong, a clinic has to become involved. Clinical depression. My psychologist told me I was depressed, but he wanted to diagnose it as mild depression because he was afraid if I was diagnosed as depressed, it would affect me getting insurance or me getting a job. People would look at my record and go, oh, he was depressed. Let's not hire him. They don't need to look on my record to know that I'm depressed. I don't exactly dance around the hallways. I think they can infer from a typical conversation with me, whether or not I'm depressed. They can figure that out pretty quickly. It's frustrating writing today, too, because I sit down and try to write jokes and I end up just kind of coming to the same conclusions, which is I'm the root of all my problems. So I need to get out of my own way. If I removed myself from myself, I would be in great shape. And I think I've just described Buddhism, which for me is the greatest spectator sport. I watch Buddhism the way I watch basketball. I sit there and I go, man, I wish I could do that. Those guys are amazing. I think the Buddha would like basketball. I think he would. I think the Buddha would also be bored with soccer, as bored with soccer as I am. I think the Buddha he'd be able to handle it because he's the Buddha, but he wouldn't go back to a second game. Basketball, he gets season tickets for basketball. Pretty sure about that.